Okay. Now I'm live. Should be live. Let's find out if I'm actually live or not. Maybe. No. It's not saying I'm live. Hold on. I'm trying to see if it's not saying I'm live. Wonder if it's taking a while for it to come up. Hold on.
Says you're live.
It says I'm live?
Yeah.
Huh. I can't tell that I am, to be fair. Let's see. But I guess you can hear everything? Can you see everything? Because I'm trying to like look it up on my phone.
There's a lag.
I can't tell that I am. I mean, that's fair. I mean, there's probably going to be some lag. Alright. That's good to know. I appreciate it, babe. I just want to be able to like actually see the comments too. Like the... Oh, jeez. Well, it's my first time. I think. Well, I've used OBS before, but I'm trying to like see where is the Shouldn't it give me? No. Let's exit out the studio mode. So I don't understand why it won't like actually like show. If I go to my own page, it's like not showing it or something like that. It's weird. How am I supposed to keep up with the comments if I can't see my own video? There. All right. Okay, good. Let me go. Man, I'm sweaty. Hold on, let me wipe my head off. All right. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Aha. That's even better. We'll do it like that. I'm going to X out of that one. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started here. Welcome. My beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love. My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and welcome to Cosmic Convergence, where we're going to be talking about the transits for the next week or so, and we're of course going to be highlighting that major Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that is actually happening right now, but it will apex on Saturday evening, 4:20. So, definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least. Thank you all for joining me. I think it's been a while since I've gone live. It's been a while since I've made like some actual videos too. So, but yeah, we'll see whether you guys are watching live or whether or not you watch the playback. I definitely appreciate you guys joining me here. I know I've definitely made some changes after going hard in the paint for almost a year making daily videos, and then now I'm kind of pulling back and just doing the weekly. And it's been interesting too, just kind of going through that transition. It's felt weird. It even felt wrong at times. But I know that everything happens for a reason and stuff like that. And it's helping me to kind of put things in perspective a little bit and stuff too. And just try and like gather my thoughts and try and like gather my vision on what it is that exactly I want to do with all this. Because truth be told, I really can't see YouTube like lasting the way that it is for much longer at all. It's already shifting in many ways, and social media, even as we know it, is going to shift forever here in a bit. Uranus does rule the internet, so it's going to be a shift there. Pluto is in Aquarius, so social media, the way that we use it, is all going to shift forever. All of the streaming things that we use, all the different, there's like 20 different streaming like platforms. We're probably going to have like 2 or 3 like in the next 5 years. Like a bunch of them are going to fall off. A bunch of streaming platforms are going to just fall off, or they're going to merge and combine, which is already happening. That stuff's already happening, but we're about to see it even more so. Like Amazon will probably last just because they got money. Like Amazon will probably still be around. I would not be surprised if Netflix goes under, or they're bought out or something like that. Would not be surprised if they're bought out. But a lot of these streaming platforms, they're gonna go bye bye. That's just kind of the nature of where we are right now in the astrology. So, but yeah, so I called this show Cosmic Convergence. The idea, of course, is to do this at least once a week, where I go over the major transits, I draw some cards, maybe talk about some like, recent news and everything like that, but just kind of whatever comes to mind, whatever I want to do, essentially. It's going to be just like my little show, my little catch up with you guys, essentially. And, we'll get like the occasional little vlogs that I like to do as well. So you get all that sort of stuff. But I trust that everyone's doing well out there. I trust everyone's having a good week so far. And definitely, like I said, I appreciate your viewership. Whether I know some of y'all have been watching me for a while, even when I went on like my almost year-long hiatus from making videos. Some of y'all have stuck around, and I definitely appreciate that. So I want to just kind of bring up the actual thumbnail for this video. We're talking about this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, the conjoin, and I have this man walking, and it's interesting too because like when I first made this, right? Well, I didn't make it. AI made it, but when I was first like kind of crafting what I wanted it to be, I was like, okay. I was like, well, based off what's going on, it does kind of feel like we're in this moment where we're kind of like walking through the rubble, if you will, of the world that we thought we knew the world that we thought was going to always be this way. From the small scale up to the large scale, we always thought things were going to be the same. And then like you have like this figure up here, right? And I feel like that's literally, when I saw this the first time, I immediately just got this sense of like that is pretty much the fusion of Jupiter and Uranus. It's like, especially in Taurus, he has like the flowers and the leaves in his hair. You know what I'm saying? Like Jupiter literally is in the picture. Now Saturn's up there too. And you don't really see Uranus anywhere. I'm thinking Uranus is one of like these stars in the background. You know what I'm saying? Uranus could be this other planet that's kind of swirled around in this galaxy. But this does kind of feel like where we are. I feel like this is a moment where we have to, realize that the world that we thought we knew, or the world that we have come to know, is coming to an end. And this is a moment of finding out what truly is valuable when everything is coming down, when things are shifting, when things are morphing. What is truly valuable? We're going to really discover that here over the next week, and definitely going into the rest of this year and into 2025, 2026. We're really going to be seeing what really is important to us. What connections matter most to us. What are the things that matter most to us? You know what I mean? And it goes from everything from like the kind of work you do, the kind of job that you have, the people in your life, the relationships, all the way down to the food you eat, down to just the general things that you have. You know what I'm saying? It goes down to seriously just like, do you have a pair of shoes? And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's like, do you really need that 10th pair of shoes? Do you really need that 10th pair? Or can you rock with that 9? You know, some people don't even have a pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think we've kind of created a world of such opulence, but at the same time, the opulence, I believe, was kind of an illusion. Like, we kind of got a chance to live that life, but truthfully, it's kind of a bit of an illusion because a lot of people, in order to achieve that opulence, had to bankrupt their soul in order to get there. Not everybody, but a lot of people, in order to achieve that level of opulence, had to bankrupt their soul. And you know, the universe is like, nah, like, we're going to switch it up. We're going to change it up. And now we're going to really see what's truly valuable at the end of it all. You know, this is just us moving into the next stage. Or this is us evolving to that next stage in this big Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, which is happening right now. But it will, like I said, apex on 420, mind you. The moment that the sun moves into Taurus, and that sun moving into Taurus, interesting enough, of course, is going to be making a square over to Pluto and Aquarius immediately. So that's kind of the interesting thing about this energy. You know, we can feel the shift that's happening. This is like, we thought that the lunar eclipse was crazy. We thought that the new moon solar eclipse was crazy, and they were. Those were big markers, but it's conjunctions like this that really, really, really set it off. Hey Willow, hey Skywalk Trees. Don't worry guys, I just started, so you guys haven't really missed a lot. So I'm just showing you guys the thumbnail and kind of where my mind was, where my vision was with this. But I saw this and I was like, yeah, that's definitely it. It in many ways feels like this Jupiter and Uranus are kind of like, they're doing the fusion like they do in DBZ, you know, Dragon Ball Z, and now we're kind of being guided. It's like, okay, yeah, there may be rubble, there may be things around, there may be dilapidated buildings, and you may feel like, you know, you may be wondering, how am I going to get through this? I think everyone's kind of wondering, how am I going to get through this? No, we get through this by learning what's truly important, what's truly valuable at the fundamental level, at the foundational level. That's what Taurus represents. It represents the foundation. So when we can get down to the bottom of things and really figure out what is truly worth it for us, what is truly valuable for us at the foundational level, then from there we can kind of progress. You know, Taurus is simple. Aries is simple energy. Not that I'm not saying that Aries and Taurus people, like if you have like your sun, moon, and rising, that makes you simple. I'm just saying like the energy itself, it's like you don't have to complicate it, right? Taurus, okay, what do you value? What do you truly value? Okay, all right, cool. Now, what value do you provide for the world? Okay, cool. Like, and that's the thing about this too. Jupiter is, of course, the planet of expansion, and Uranus is a planet of unpredictability. So when you bring expansion and unpredictability together in Taurus, you remember the last time that we had this, guys, the last time that these planets conjuncted was 1941. And if you know your history, you would understand why this is kind of a big deal. Because we're kind of seeing it being played out again. And that's a little bit different, of course, this time. We have Neptune and Pisces, and you know, that's a little bit different. We have Pluto and Aquarius, that's a little bit different. So it's not going to play out quite the same, but a lot of the elements, a lot of the ingredients are there. And that's the thing that we have to consider with this sort of thing. So let's just go ahead and pop right into it. I have this set for today at the current moment. I'll go ahead and just even move this forward. Oh, whoa. That's not what I wanted you to do. It moved so fast. Sorry about that. So as of right now, or at least, you know, in general, this is like, you know, around 9 p.m. when I started this. We had that moon was finishing up in Leo, right? And we have, of course, Jupiter and Uranus starting their conjunction here at 21 degrees. This moon, of course, made some beautiful trines over the last, you know, day or so. Some nice trines over to the North Node and Venus, which we're now conjuncting in Aries. Mercury, which is, of course, retrograde here, getting ready to meet up with Venus. We have Chiron and Eris. And, of course, you know, the moon's about to make that trine to the sun, too. So we're going to be kind of getting that energy going into the next day. And this is a very powerful moment. You know, Moon and Leo, this is, you know, I always call Moon and Leo kind of like the supporting actor because it's not the Sun in Leo, it's the Moon in Leo. But it provides so much context to the story that the Moon in Leo is such an important character. It plays such an important role in the story. And a lot of times people end up really liking the Moon in Leo. Moon in Leo is like, all right, like if the Sun in Leo is like the main character, Sun in Leo is like Naruto, right? Now, I mean, of course, now Naruto's technically a Libra, but Sun in Leo is like your main character, right? That's Naruto. Moon in Leo would be Sasuke, right? And you see this trope played out in so much of our media. You have like your main character who's like fiery, passionate one, you know what I'm saying? Bit rambunctious, a bit, you know, very super outgoing. And then you have your cool and calm and collected one, right? Who's just as powerful in many ways, if not more powerful, but they oftentimes, or at some point, do take a back seat to the main character, which is the Sun in Leo. So we have that Moon in Leo. So whenever you get this energy, that's the energy it kind of brings. It brings Sasuke vibes, if you will. That's the kind of vibes it brings. So we'll see, of course, that Moon trine over to the Sun. And if you guys don't know who I'm talking about too, I can of course bring that up so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. Because I understand that some of the references I use y'all may not know, but I you know, because this is essentially what it is. I'm gonna see if I wonder if it'll let me share it. Let's see if it will let me, because last time I tried to do this, it didn't let me share it. I had to figure out another way to do it. But I want to see if it will let me. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, snap. See. Probably not. This is what I'm probably going to have to end up doing. I'm going to have to probably remove this. So I'm going to do some stuff here, right? I'm going to remove that. I'm going to no, not that one. Let's see. Screen capture, okay, and then display. Do I do window or application? I can just do window, I guess, right? Aha, there you go. Ah, boom. That's actually what I wanted. I wonder if it will let me put it back. Honestly, this actually kind of does what I wanted to do. So yeah, this is Naruto. Is that right there is Sun in Leo, right? Main character vibes. The Moon, which is illuminated at nighttime in the darkness, you know, that's Sasuke vibes. So Moon and Leo, that's where we are right now. We're kind of in that, you know. And a lot of times people will, you know, I notice that a lot of times too with me, this is the character I usually identified more with, was the Moon and Leo character. The Sasuke's, you know, if you will. Some of you guys probably feel that way. Some of you guys definitely feel like you're not necessarily the main character. You know, you may feel like, and you are the main character in your life, but some of you guys probably feel more like Moon and Leo. You probably vibe a little bit more with Moon and Leo, right? So, I'm going to go ahead and remove that and then just get back to the actual chart itself. So, let's do that. Screen capture, okay. Let's see, application. Yeah. And then, let's see if I can get this back to the size that I had it at. How do I move this forward? Let's see. So now y'all can't see me. Don't worry, guys. I'll fix it. So I will fix it. Let's see. Oh, this is actually pretty easy to fix. Boom. All right, bam. We're back. We are back. But yeah, so that's where we are right now. And the day starts off with that. Thursday starts off with that moon making the trine over to the sun in Leo. So Aries season is almost done, guys. Aries season is almost done. So you can see this conjunction, of course, is going to get tighter. It's going to get tighter and tighter. So that moon's going to shift into Virgo on Thursday, right? And as soon as the moon does this, of course, you're going to see it make a awkward stare over to Pluto at 2 degrees. The sun's going to enter that 29th degree. And anytime you get a day where a planet is at the last degree, it brings out edgy energy, especially this kind of edgy energy, because we have an Eris here at 24 degrees. We have a major conjunction with Uranus and Jupiter coming together, right? We have a Mercury retrograde in the middle of all this. So we're trying to put the pieces together, trying to figure things out. We're just trying to figure out who we are with Mercury here in Aries, right? We're trying to figure it out, like who we are, who are we going to be in the world? What kind of legacy do we want to leave behind, especially with the North Node here? You know, what do we like? Venus is with Mercury, right? What do we like? Like, it kind of brings it down to the simple parts of it. What do we like? What works with us? What doesn't work with our bodies? You know? And that's the weird thing about this too. So this moon in Virgo is going to bring about a nitpicky kind of nature, because Virgo likes to nitpick. They're very particular about things. So there's a time and place for being detail oriented. But whenever the moon goes into Virgo, I do notice that people have a tendency to be a lot harder on themselves. They'll have fun when the moon is in Leo, but when the moon goes into Virgo, people can be a lot harder on themselves. So throw that into the mix of everything that's going on. Don't be surprised if we start to see something weird happen on Thursday, just because the moon shifts here. Like, we may get, like, the news is already building. We can already feel it, but I wouldn't be surprised if something interesting happens on Thursday with this moon here. Now, we move it forward. It's going to conjunct Juno here, of course, square Pallas Athena. So that's kind of like a minor aspect to some of the asteroids, if you will. Right? And then we move into Friday. So when we move into Friday, and one thing I want you guys to pay attention to is everything that's rising with the sun. The sun is rising in the morning. Look at everything that is with it. Now, of course, we can't see Neptune with the naked eye, and we can't see Chiron with the naked eye. We can't see Eris with the naked eye. We can't see those. We can't see the North Node because it's an invisible knot. You know, it's a calculation, right? So that's the thing about this. So we can't see them right now, right? So, but all of these planets are rising. So that means that all of these energies are playing out, especially in a 12th house manner. That's the thing about it. Which probably explains why your dreams have been so crazy lately. Because you have Neptune, Mars, Saturn, the North Node, Mercury retrograde, Venus, Chiron, and Eris all rising with the sun. So between the hours generally of like 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., because it's like right before you wake up and stuff like that, unless you like work really, really early, generally it's right before you wake up that your dreams are the craziest. When you have this many planets rising with the sun and having that, bringing that 12th house energy, which is dreams, and Pisces is the natural 12th house, your dreams are going to be weird. 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 Very weird, okay? So don't be surprised. Like, if you're waking up groggy, if you're waking up tired, like, don't be surprised. Like, trying to get actual, like, good sleep is probably not the easiest right now. And you know, your experience may be different, but it's just one of those things where it's like it can be a little bit harder to get going right now, even with all the Aries energy. Because Aries wants to definitely tackle the day and go forward, but not with the Mercury retrograde here. Not with the Chiron here with the Eris, you know. And the cool thing is now Chiron is actually, by this point, moved off the degree of the new moon solar eclipse. So it's at 20 degrees now. I don't know any anime. It's okay. I know I use a lot of different references and stuff. So, but hey, I mean, I am more than happy to give context and stuff like that. I'm trying. What's another good? Reference though? I'm trying to just think of like. I don't really know. I'm trying to think of something. The only thing I thought of for some reason was Rush Hour, and I feel like Jackie Chan is probably the sun in Leo, and Chris Tucker was the moon in Leo. But I think it flips whenever they go back to LA, and then it's like Chris Tucker becomes the sun, and you know, Detective Lee, you know, he becomes the moon. I don't know if y'all watched Rush Hour. That's like one of my favorite movies. Rush Hour 2 is like my favorite movie of all time. So, but just know that that's just kind of how that energy plays out. You know. Now, like I said, on this Friday, this moon is going to continue throughout Virgo, and this is a day, like I said, where things are going to get a little bit dicey. Why? Well, we have the moon that's going to be opposing Saturn at 15 degrees. So you want to talk about being nitpicky. And it's in the decan ruled by Saturn. Right? And this moon is being disposited by Mercury retrograde in Aries. So this moon probably isn't that strong. I mean, even if you look at the sheets, let's see. No, not really. It's +0. It's neutral. The sun's at +4. The sun is at +4, right? Mercury's at +3, +3, +3, +1, +0. Venus is at -2. So that's kind of the interesting thing about it. This energy does feel like it feels more desperate than it actually is. It feels more dire than it actually is, because there's still a lot of positive here. There's still a lot of things that are working out. It's just because the anesthesia is wearing off so fast, and the re-up of anesthesia is coming in so fast at the same time that it's causing a lot of people to go like woo, like haywire. Your anesthesia is wearing off, and the anesthesiologist is trying to pump more anesthesia into you to replace what's being worn off, but it can't keep up with it. It can't keep up with it. And what's the anesthesia? The anesthesia is many different things that we take for granted in our life. It's you know, the streaming stuff. It's the social media. It's all of the things that we kind of take for granted. The overall opulence of our lives and stuff like that. And that's anesthesia, you know. And it's starting to run out. But they're trying to like pump more back in. But then there's like this disparity, and there's this weird kind of balancing act that everyone's trying to do. And it's like, it does in many ways feel like we're like high up on the tripwire, and we don't even have like a bar to help stabilize ourselves. The bar is our trust in the universe and our trust in God and source to know that we can get through, and that even if we somehow fall off the tripwire, that there's a net at the bottom that's going to catch our ass. But the bar has been kind of taken away. It's almost like the training wheels have been taken away. And that's honestly what I kind of feel like this all is. I feel like humanity at large, we're getting the training wheels kind of removed right now. Because we're going to be reintroduced back to our galactic heritage and our galactic neighborhood. It's like we were like quarantined for the longest time. Like we're in like the ghettos of the galaxy. We're in the ghettos of the galaxy. And we're finally about to be reintroduced back to galactic society and civilization. But in order to do that, we have to go through some major transitions first. And we are getting the training wheels taken off. That's why things feel so crazy right now. That's why it feels so crazy right now. All right, so we'll see that moon oppose Saturn. Then we're going to see that moon. And it's interesting, too, because as it's opposing Saturn, it's going to be quincunx to the North Node. This is all at 15 degrees, mind you. So this does bring, anytime that you get something at 15 degrees, it definitely is seeking to bring some type of balance and harmony. But, man, this is asking us, all right, the day-to-day reality that we are creating with that Virgo energy, the service that we provide to people, the service that we provide for humanity, the spiritual service, it's really going to be asking us these kind of questions, especially with Saturn here in Pisces. This is definitely more so about spiritual service to humanity and what we can provide, what we can do. How can we serve our fellow brothers and sisters here? How would we like to receive something? That's how we should give to the world. That's how we would like to receive. That's super important here. And the quincunx to the North Node, the awkward part about this is that the best way to do it is for you to be your true, raw, authentic self. And yes, that is going to ruffle some feathers. That is going to rub some people the wrong way. But so long as you are not like purposely going out and hurting people or purposely going out and bringing people down into the gutter, so long as you are not purposefully harming people in that way, then you're good. Not everyone's going to like you. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone is going to think you're cool or think you got it. I may not be, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of different astrologers out there. You may come to find out that I'm not your astrologer, and that's okay. It is what it is. You may connect better with someone else, and we all go through that. There are times where we may connect with someone else more than another person. That doesn't mean that the other person that we used to connect to sucks. It just means that stage or that cycle, that age is done. We're trying to move on. We are moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. And we're not in the age of Aquarius yet. We are in the awkward transition to the age of Aquarius. That's where we are right now. So I think this is going to be a pretty big moment here on Friday, where we can definitely start to come to some realizations on, like, okay, what am I doing? What do I truly value? How do I want to be seen in the world? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? Because Saturn, of course, is definitely concerned about legacy, right? What's my purpose? We're looking at our day to day, and sometimes we may look at our day to day and we're like, I think the way that we kind of get nitpicky about this is that we may not think it's grand enough or big enough. You know what I'm saying? But remember, this Mercury is still retrograde, and it's going to conjunct the North Node. Sometimes I think I think it's great to shoot for the stars. I really do think it's great to shoot for the stars. But I think sometimes we feel like we have to shoot for the stars literally every single day and put that pressure on ourselves to do something legendary every single day. Every single day. But some days you just have a simple day. Some days the most legendary thing that you did was you put on socks. Matching socks. You know what I'm saying? Like, or that you freaking cleaned your entire home, right? Virgo loves to clean. So it's like, yeah, you cleaned your entire home. That could be the most epic thing you did. That could be part of your legacy. That could be part of your purpose that day. It doesn't have to be some like huge, magical, monumental thing. Sometimes it can be very, very simple. Maybe your purpose for your legacy that day is to help that one person. To help that one person. And you never know what that person could be going through. You might have pulled them off. You might have pulled them back from a ledge that you didn't even know they were going through. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what this moon opposed Saturn is going to be all about. Like I said, the best way that you help is by simply being you. Simply being you. And that's the best way to go about it. By this time, of course, the sun has moved into Taurus. So it's Taurus season. So we literally, today's Wednesday. We have one full day of Taurus season, Thursday. By the time that we hit Friday, the sun is going to come into Taurus. So whenever you get, like I said, a planet at the last degree of a sign, it's always going to be talking about, all right, it's a review period. What have you learned? But things can get kind of intense. It's like a final exam, if you will. People can get nervous, apprehensive, anxious, depressed even. Be like, holy crap, right here on the edge. It can be exciting. It can be thrilling, especially here with Aries. Because Aries season was a freaking roller coaster. It flew by. It came and flew by, and we're like, holy crap, we're already in Taurus season. But the convergence is not completed. It's still going on. So, moving on into Saturday, we have that moon. It's going to oppose Mars at 22 degrees in the morning, mind you. So that's how we start off Saturday, is a moon oppose Mars. Oh boy. On the day that Jupiter and Uranus conjunct and Mars is the planet of war? The moon's in Virgo, 22 degrees. I'm going to read that degree for you guys real fast. I'm going to read Virgo 22. I'm going to read both of them, actually. But I'm going to read Virgo 22 first. A lion tamer rushes fearlessly into the circus arena. This symbol implies having the talent, skills, training, and discipline to be able to tame wild energies like those of a lion. It is not that you need to extinguish powerful emotions and energies, but by skillfully manipulating what's going on, these very wild emotions and energies will perform in a way that makes you the victor. Self-discipline and mastery are needed, along with being well rehearsed for what you are doing. There's a need to put fear behind you and go for it, perhaps rushing in where angels fear to tread. The question is, how trained are you and prepared for the consequences? Faith and courage, sublimating animal instincts, controlled fearlessness, professionalism, training, adrenaline rushes, restrained passion, superheroes holding the whip. The negative aspect of it, needing to be in control, showing off or boasting, plunging in physically or emotionally, overplaying abilities, taking on anything and anyone, not being well rehearsed. So this is, knowing your skill set, knowing your worth and your value, and knowing your power, but at the same time, being honest if you are coming up against something that may be, above your pay grade. I think that there's an honesty and a power that comes from that. That maybe you need to practice a little bit more. Maybe you need to learn how to control some of the impulses and stuff too. And I think having the confidence to want to move forward and do things is great. But at the same time, we do have to have a bit of an idea, a bit of a strategy. I think it's like the most powerful fighters are those that show restraint, because they know they could destroy somebody, but they choose not to. They choose to use that strength in other ways to empower people instead of destroy them. And that's the definition of a true superhero, right? And I've been talking about superheroes a lot. I'm going to continue talking about superheroes a lot too. But that's the thing too. There's going to be some people that feel like they need to be in control. They need to have everything figured out. And they're going to, this is like egocentric people going to be pumping up their egos with this kind of energy, right? And like I said, people, going to be inflating their abilities, inflating their value superficially. And it's not actually there. So it's like, and that's not to say, if you admit and you're honest about where you are right now, that doesn't mean that you are less than, or that dream that you want to go for is too big. No, not at all. But don't feel the need to run the entire marathon when you're not ready. Don't feel the need to run an entire marathon when you haven't even practiced for a 5K yet. Sure, you can imagine yourself running a marathon, but running it's a whole different thing from imagining it. Virgo is about the reality of it. Let's read Mars. Let's read Pisces 22. Let's see the juxtaposition of this, right? A materializing medium giving a seance. This shows the ability or the need to pick up subtle energies and psychic clues in the environment. The materializing medium can receive radiations, frequencies, or vibrations that cannot easily be sensed by most people. You may be experiencing a surprising sensitivity and awareness to spiritual forces and energy. This can cause confusion, other times enlightenment. Sit with any new impressions until you understand their authenticity or depth. Sometimes there is a need to free stuck or earthbound entities. This can show someone who can materialize things, make things happen just by thinking about or concentrating on them. Spiritual channeling, seeing things ahead of time, giving voice to spirit, messages from the other side, tarot readings, clairvoyance, and clairsentience manifesting. The negative aspect of it, false fronts or performances, making things up, using mind control to get a desired outcome, weird energies or people, quacks, imposters, fakes, delusional. Yeah, I get that because, especially with it being Pisces, definitely it's like the subtle energies are there. The messages from spirit will definitely be there, but some people may take that, and if they get caught up in their ego, they will start to put off these false fronts and these performances. They will try to use mind control. They will start being weird and they'll start to act like a quack. They'll be fake. They'll be found out. Wouldn't be surprised if some people are just found out this weekend that they were fake the whole time. That they're just making shit up. And maybe they really do actually have some of those abilities, but they're overinflating them. It's like It's like I'm always going to use some sort of nerdy reference. It's like if you're let's just so random. It's like if you're a Pokemon trainer and you're calling your buddy and you're gloating, saying, yeah, man, I have a level 75 Charizard who could totally kick any of your Pokemon's butt. And really, you don't have a level 75 Charizard. You have a freaking, level 13 Charmander or something like that. But you're, blowed. And eventually Charmander will evolve into Charizard, but it ain't there yet. But you're gloating and you're putting off this front as if it's a Charizard. And then you never actually battle with them. You use AI. You use AI to create videos and images of the Charizard that you don't actually have. That's what the energy kind of feels like, right? So don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in the false fronts or performances. Not only in your personal life, but on the world stage. This is Mars and Pisces. If you catch my drift. Any war-related shit that you may see, probably more of a performance. Don't know what to tell you guys. It's probably going to be more of a performance. So, nah, it's early in the day. That's how Saturday starts off, right? I think probably the biggest news that we probably will see will be Thursday, Friday. And then Saturday is, of course, the day when things really shift, right? Now, we are going to see that evening Jupiter and Uranus finally conjoining at 21 degrees 49 minutes of Taurus. And the moon, of course, where's the moon? It's at the edge of Virgo. It's going to trine these energies beforehand. And that's kind of the cool thing, too. At least the moon is trining the Jupiter and Uranus energy while it's opposing Mars. So that's kind of the interesting thing about it, too, that I even really talk about. It's don't get caught up necessarily on the delusion of stuff, especially with all that Piscean energy. Don't get caught up on that, but more so focus on the more Uranian Jupiter aspect that, we're definitely about to go through some major life lessons right now with Jupiter, right? Everyone wants to think that Jupiter is the planet of expansion and fortune and stuff, but Jupiter teaches lessons, It expands things, and expanding things isn't always the best thing. Sometimes things need to be constricted. Saturn, right? So that's the thing about this. Because sometimes too much of a good thing is not really a good thing. You know what I'm saying? And Uranus is unpredictability. So that's kind of the interesting thing about this. I feel like Potentially, we may see some stuff with like the weather, you know, maybe an earthquake, maybe a volcano erupting or something like that. Wouldn't be surprised. But of course, the last time that Jupiter and Uranus conjuncted, which was in Aries, that was Fukushima. And the last time that Jupiter and Uranus conjuncted in Taurus was World War II. So, I don't know what to tell you guys. The moon's going to be in Virgo at the time of this conjunction, and it will shift into Libra going into Sunday. As soon as it shifts into Libra, we're going to see it make a quincunx over to the sun, right? Jupiter and Uranus are still very, very tight, but now Jupiter's kind of leading the pack now. Was Uranus for the longest time? Now Jupiter's leading the pack. Jupiter's not leading the pack, right? We're going to see that quincunx. We're going to see the moon trine over to Pluto as well. And with this being on Sunday too, this is going to be a day, especially with the moon being in Libra. This is going to be the day where people start to try and, I guess, they're going to start to try and bargain, right? They're going to start to bargain, you know, to kind of go through like the intensity of that conjunction and whatever crazy event happens. And then the moon's going to go into Libra and we're going to start bargaining. We're going to start trying to make some deals. I was like, okay, well, you know, if I do this, then can this happen? Or if I do this, will you blah, 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 blah. Like, we're going to start doing this, like, on a personal level, and then, like, on a community level, and then a larger level, and a collective level. We're going to start bargaining. Trying to figure out, it's like, okay, like, all right, so I have to give up that, and that. Okay, well, can we at least keep these things? Like, I don't want everything from the old world to go away. Can we at least keep these things? We're going to start bargaining when the moon goes into Libra, right? So I'm interested. I mean, I don't go to church, but I can only imagine that church is probably going to be very lit that day, especially after 420. But yeah, people are going to be going to church. Like, some people that like never smoked are going to smoke for the first time this 420. Some people that like swear they would never smoke, swear that they would never smoke cannabis, are going to smoke on this 420 because of this conjunction. Because of this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Some people are going to smoke. Some people are going to get violently high. I'm not. I'm going to keep it kosher. So I can't get like that anymore. It doesn't work for my system like that. I only take things in small doses. So, but would not be surprised if some people get like seriously lit this 420. Especially with it being on a Saturday. Oh my gosh, the sermons on Sunday are going to be lit. Like, I don't go to church, but I can only imagine that the sermons are going to be lit that day. This moon is going to be in Libra, and we are getting, of course, closer to the full moon in Scorpio that's going to be happening next week too. So I think we'll probably talk more about that on the next video. But we'll see, of course, that moon shifting throughout Libra. Coming into Monday, of course, it's going to conjunct the North Node and then start opposing all this Aries energy, right? So opposing the North Node, opposing Mercury retrograde, which is about to come direct too. So this is actually the last full week of Mercury being in retrograde. So it's going to be coming direct here soon. And of course, Jupiter comes off at that 21st degree and moves to 22. Like I said, leading the pack, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, coming into Monday, we're going to see the moon finishing up here in Libra. Well, it finishes up actually going more into Tuesday, which will be like the next video, essentially, that I get with you guys. But we will see, of course, this moon make all these oppositions to all this Aries energy, too. So, but really, the whole thing about this is just building up to the convergence of Jupiter and Uranus. And the thing about conjunctions is that, like I said, anytime that you have a conjunction, the energies are amplifying each other. So if we just go back to Saturday, when it actually happens, if you just go back to that, and I'm going to read the Sabian symbol for it as well for you guys. But these energies are going to be amplifying each other. So you got to think Jupiter's a party animal, right? Jupiter's a party animal. And now Jupiter's finally going to be leading the pack. Uranus is that unpredictable old man, right? That unpredictable old man that is a lot stronger than he looks, right? He's not, he has a lot of wisdom. He's a little bit different. He's a little bit weird, you know what I'm saying? But he has a lot of stories. He has a lot of wisdom. And he's a lot stronger and he's a lot sharper than he looks, right? But he's unpredictable. So when you bring those two energies together, you're going to get some unpredictable stuff. You got to remember, Uranus also rules masses of people. So think towns, cities, states, countries, right? So this is going to be a shift in the values of different countries as well. Jupiter also rules travel. This is going to be one of those things where there may be certain countries that actually start restricting travel from other countries. That can happen. Or they may open it up too. Some are going to be opened up. Some are going to be restricted. Trade routes may open up. Trade routes may be changed, altered, switched. Like, all these things can definitely happen, right? Especially here in Taurus, which deals with physical matter, money, finances, merchants, like all this stuff is about to switch forever. So I'm just saying, like, a lot of the things that we have, the world that we have lived in, especially over the last 20 to 30 years, is coming to an end. It's coming to a close. And it's shifting forever right here. And this Taurus season is really going to be a test onto what do you truly value? What do you truly want? What value do you bring to the table, to the collective? Because all this stuff is shifting forever. All the things that we get shipped to us from other countries, stuff's going to go away. It's going to at least be very reduced or simplified, because Taurus is going to simplify it. It's going to be simplified, you know? It's not like we're going to have all of our stuff made in other countries forever. At least here in the U.S., things are probably about to come home, and people's values are going to shift. There's probably not going to be as much of a need for all of the different, like, marketing, like social media marketing agencies. That's why there's so many vacancies in all them anyways. Like, everyone's doing the social media marketing. What's going to happen when social media is not really much of a thing anymore? Bye-bye jobs. But what will open up probably? Manufacturing, building things. Like, those things are going to be opening up. And guess what? Those things are probably more important. I don't know. Knowing where your food comes from and building stuff is probably more important than you posting something on Facebook and it getting 100 likes. You know? So, and I'm not shitting on social media because I use social media, obviously. YouTube, this is social media, right? So I'm just saying that it's shifting forever. We're not going to see, it's not going to look like it did. We had a very cool and interesting period over the last 20 years. We're seeing the rise of the internet, seeing the rise of social media, but the internet is in its infancy anyways. And it's going to look very different going forward, right? So a lot of those things are about to shift forever, you know? And that's just a thing that we're going to have to deal with, honestly. And just learn that, hey, man, like, it's all good. It's okay. Like, no, I don't need that 10th pair of shoes. No, I don't need, I don't need that thing from Amazon. Right? I don't need that extra thing from Amazon, right? I don't need a third TV. You know what I'm saying? And I think we all have our things that we like to spend our money on and stuff. I think we all have those things that we spend our money on that we probably don't necessarily need to, but maybe we do value it, maybe we do enjoy it, but maybe we don't necessarily need to spend as much money on it still. Like, for me, like, I love video games, right? I love video games. I find value in buying video games because it gives me a sense of peace and solace when I play them for the most part, and I find enjoyment in them. But am I going to be buying a lot of video games over the next couple years? I don't know, probably not, because the money's probably going to go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's probably gonna be less. I'm gonna have to make do with the games that I have. You know, and that's fine. That's cool. I think we have to get over this whole idea of wanting the next new thing. We're so addicted to the next new thing. We're so addicted to like the newness of something, the novelty. That's why people just scrolling through TikTok. They're just addicted to the dopamine hit after dopamine hit after dopamine hit after dopamine hit. But what about serotonin? What about actual like sustaining the happiness or like that feeling that you get from like really appreciating something, really appreciating a craft or working on something, really appreciating building a relationship? What about that? We are so addicted to dopamine and we forgot about serotonin. We forgot about those other things. Forgot about what it means to actually like get those things to like last, you know. And our society isn't built for that. That's why so many people have issues with serotonin. Hello, me. I'm on an SSRI, okay? I have no problem admitting it. I take Zoloft, right? And I take CBD and stuff, which helps with serotonin as well, right? So many people are like that, right? And it is what it is. But it's like, we can go back to smoke signals and carry pigeons and pamphlets because social media is compromised. It pretty much is compromised. That's part of the reason why I'm kind of shifting to like this one video a week format, because I don't really know how long YouTube's going to be around in this way. I still enjoy making videos. I still love doing this. I really do. But things are probably going to have to shift. Maybe I just throw things like on a website or something, or I don't know. I can just do I can make videos and send them out in like a newsletter or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I could just attach an MP4 to like a newsletter and send that out. That could be a thing too. Like we're about to see like some things come back. We're about to see blogs come back. Like blogging's probably going to come back a little bit more. Like general like newsletters like that. Things are about to those kind of things are about to come back. Interesting enough. Or like be revamped, if you will, like renewed. But that's the thing about this Jupiter Uranus. It's like it's one of those things where I could talk about it a lot, and I can give you examples from the past of, you know, what happened when these planets met up. But because of the Uranus thing, it does add an element of unpredictability to it. So the big change, the big domino that falls is not going to be what we think it is. It's always going to be something crazy or something different. But it's going to be pretty big, and Jupiter's just going to blow that shit up. And blow it up by mean like it's going to make it bigger, you know. It's going to dramatize it. And whether or not we get too caught up in the drama or just kind of pay attention to the subtle energies of why things are happening, we can learn how to navigate it better. I finally got my dad on CBD. Hell yeah. I think everyone should take CBD. Unless you're allergic. But I think everyone should take CBD. I personally love CBG. It's my favorite one. It really is helpful for anxiety and stress. Really helpful for that. That's why I have my... Where is it? My CBG pen right here. So, it's great stuff. It really is. It's definitely made a huge difference in my life. So yeah, man. This is the cosmic convergence right now, and this is the major transit that's going to definitely really be one of those moments where we look back on this year as like, yo, that was a major event. It's kind of putting like a stamp on the first quarter of the year, if you will, the first third of the year. This transit is kind of just putting its stamp on the first third of this year. It's like, all right, now we're going to go into Act 2. So this is like pretty much the end of Act 1. Like this is that unpredictable like moment where like the crowd is like, oh my gosh, that did not just happen. and then the curtain closes, and then it's intermission, and then act 2. Like, that's what this Jupiter Uranus is. It's the, oh my gosh, and everyone's talking about, oh my gosh, did you see that? I can't believe that happened. I can't believe she did that. I can't believe he said that. I can't believe that actually happened. That's what this is. So it's like, we're not gonna see it coming. It's gonna be interesting too. So it's like, just ride the ride, be prepared for that, and know that you absolutely have the capability to make it through these moments, and know that you bring something amazing and beautiful to the table. And transit like this will definitely help to remind you of that and help you to realize that. And you don't have to be perfect. You know what I mean? I know when the moon goes into Virgo, we're going to want to feel perfect. That's the thing about moon and Virgo. It wants to feel perfect, but, it's going to be hard to feel perfect, especially with the moon opposing Saturn, Mars, and Neptune. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be hard to feel perfect. It'll be easy to try and maybe delude ourselves into, thinking that if we do things a certain way, if we act a certain way all the time, or whatever like that, or if it looks a certain way, that'll be perfect. But there are going to be some days, I was literally thinking about this, such a simple thought on the way home. I was thinking on the way home, I was like, wow, there's some days that, you're just like on cloud 9. You're buzzing, you're happy. Are there things that you could be worried about? Sure, but you're not. Then the other days where those worries take over and it fucks up your whole day and shit, you know what I'm saying? And other days are kind of like in between. I think this whole idea that every day has to be perfect and beautiful and sunshine and rainbows and angels singing and stuff like that, and you're gonna have some days where it just ain't it. It ain't it. You just not. It's not. There's no vibe there. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to really get up out of bed. But you have to find some type of courage and bravery right now to still get up, even on those moments where you don't feel like you can do that much. If there's a day where it just feels like you can't really do that much, you don't have to force yourself to do things at the same capacity like the days where you are feeling it all the way. Now, you can if you want to, but you don't necessarily have to. I know Michael Jordan one time played with the flu. It wasn't his best game, but he still did well. I don't think he played as many minutes as he usually would have. He still played, though. He still showed up. I think that's what the universe wants. The universe wants us to show up. It doesn't want us to be 100% every single day. The universe simply wants us to show up. So are you going to show up? And if there's one day you show up and you have fucking one shoe on, right? And you're missing a sock, and maybe your sleeve is a little bit torn, hey, you showed up. You made it. And there'll be other days where you're really feeling it. And that's awesome. That's beautiful. That's great. And that stuff should be appreciated, but it's not always going to be like that. And that's okay. That is perfectly okay. If there's anything with these videos, it's not just about the astrology and stuff. It's my way of, it's almost like therapy for myself, because I realize that for me, it's like talking about these energies out loud to myself helps me to put them in context, helps me to kind of frame them. But also, just hopefully this message could reach somebody and help somebody through whatever they're going through. To kind of give them I'm seriously like a spiritual hype man. I'm like your spiritual cheerleader. I'm like, you got this, And why wouldn't I want you to get this either? That's the thing too. Like, why wouldn't I want you to succeed? Because when you succeed, we all can succeed. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even necessarily about all of us like that, but it's like when you succeed, more people can succeed. More people can be happy. That's what it's all about, right? This whole idea where we keep pulling each other down like we're crabs in a bucket, it's bullshit. We need to stop doing that. We need to start lifting each other up. Now, that's not to say that you can't set boundaries. Definitely set boundaries, especially like if someone is bringing your energy down and they keep bringing your energy down and they're not necessarily aware of it. Make them aware of it. Set that boundary. Do what you have to do, But continue to lift people up. That's the other part about this too. It's like you can't help everybody. You can't be Captain Save a Ho either. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the other parts about the spiritual community is that we try to be Captain Save a Ho and we can't do it. A lot of times we're the ones that need to be saved. We're the ones that need to show up for ourselves. We're We're so busy showing up for other people that we don't show up for our own damn self. That's why it's really important to start off every day like that, to give thanks, take some deep breaths, maybe do a little bit of meditation, and just give thanks. Give thanks for whatever. It doesn't have to be like anything big. It can be like, I'm thankful that I have this cup. I'm thankful that I have this awesome mic. I'm thankful that I have this phone. Seriously, I am. Like, it's crazy. I look around, I'm like, damn, look at all this stuff that I have. It's crazy, I'm rich. No, I don't have a Lamborghini. I don't have a helicopter. I don't have a yacht. I got a lot of stuff here, man. There's a lot of cool stuff here. There's a lot of cool, amazing things here. There's a lot of inspiration in this room. There's a lot of things I could do with the stuff in this room. There's a lot of resources here. And that's the way that we have to look at our lives. So, I'll draw a card for the collective. Because, like I said, with these videos, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do them. Like, it's going to be pretty freeform. It's going to be like, I'll talk about the stuff, like the astrology, may draw some cards. But I have, like, different ideas of what it can look like. But, like I said, this is just kind of, like I said, it's freeform. It's kind of stream of consciousness to me. I feel like that's honestly the best way that I make these videos anyways. So, hope that this message assisted you and helped you to kind of give some context to what's going on right now and stuff. Y'all let me know if 9 a.m. is a good time. I was thinking about doing 8 a.m., but I did 9 a.m. today. So, but y'all let me know if this is actually a pretty good time to do things. But let's see what we got. We got the Devil card in reverse. Yeah, like... Devil card in reverse. Yeah, don't pay attention to the illusions. Don't pay attention to all of those things. That there's going to be delusions. There's going to be distractions. Don't pay attention to all that shit. Don't pay attention to all that shit, okay? Just 7 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so don't pay attention to all that stuff. Don't pay attention to where you think you're getting robbed or think you're getting taken advantage of. Because all that shit's coming to an end anyways, right? Don't get caught up on all that. Of the illusion, of the performance, of the theatrics of it all, right? But what's real? What's solid? What's the foundation, right? Again, we'll get so caught up on the performance itself, we don't even realize that the whole stage is breaking. It's like broken. The curtains don't work. There's holes in the floor. But we can be doped up with so much anesthesia. We're watching this play as if it's, oh my God, this is the greatest play ever. Let me take the anesthesia wears off and we realize that we're watching this we're not in like a beautiful theater. We're in a fucking back alley. Like, and the actors that we thought were truly like amazing actors they're fucking cracked out on something, right? And we're waking up like, oh my God, what is this? I'm like, it used to be in that nice little theater over there, but that theater is actually kind of breaking down and stuff, The rafters are kind of messed up. There's cobwebs everywhere. There's freaking crows that actually live in the attic of it and shit. So we moved it out here, but we wanted to give you, we still wanted you to make you feel like you're still in that nice theater. So we gave you this anesthesia. We gave you these glasses that made everything seem like it was so beautiful, right? And then you take them off and you realize what you're actually watching. It's like, oh shit. Hierophant in reverse. I'm telling you, don't fall for the illusion. This Hierophant in reverse, this is definitely giving like vibes of like a leader that is so caught up in their ego and so believing that they know what is right for everybody, especially from like a spiritual or moralistic standpoint, that they're going to try to impose this on other people. Don't get caught up in that shit. Don't get caught up in that shit. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Gotta take things back to the basics. The pages in the deck, in the tarot deck, they're like students. It's very simple. So we gotta get back to the basics of this. What do you like? What do you value? Right? What do you like? What do you value? What do you truly like? What do you truly value? What would you like to receive? What would you like to receive as a gift from somebody? Give that thing to the world. Right? Embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. I do like this. It does kind of feel a little like we're kind of glossing over things, but I think really what this is coming down to is that we just need to embrace the moments, embrace the energy, and realize that happiness is it's something that we define. It's not something that society defines for us. So it's like happiness may not look the same for you as it does for someone else, you know. But I think that's what this comes down to. It's like we have to realize that we can be happy where we are right now. Are things perfect? No, but maybe they are perfect. Maybe they're maybe they are the way they're supposed to be. When you get conjunctions like this is more fate energy, not really very much so like free will stuff. This is more fate energy. So we got embracing enthusiasm. I also have the card to begin now. Take your first step. Take your first step. Your first step. Not 100, not 1,000. The first step. You don't have to run the entire marathon right now. You don't have to run the entire marathon right now. You can start where you are right now. But that's going to do it for this cosmic convergence. Hopefully the first of many. We'll talk about this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. And I enjoyed this. Hope that you guys enjoyed it as well, and trust that this message will assist you on your journey. If you did enjoy this, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. And if you'd like to have like a personal reading with me, beloved, so you can see how these energies are playing out for you, particularly, then of course you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com, or you can email me too at info.astrofenixx@gmail.com. So, but y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful evening. I will see you all on the next video, whether it's a random vlog or the next cosmic convergence. I think that's a pretty cool name, actually. So I got some fun stuff actually too. I have like a really just real quick. I was doing this cool thing with like ChatGPT and stuff, and kind of spurred the idea of something that's really cool, something that I could see turned into like a novel, a book, a card game, a TV show. Like a video. It can be turned into like 4 or 5 different things. Really, really cool stuff. A way to teach astrology in a very fun and creative way. So I'm not going to reveal too much on it, but just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. It's kind of fun. It's exciting. And yeah, I'm actually looking forward to sharing bits and pieces of that with you guys in the future. And I'm honestly not worried about it. Like sometimes people are like, "Oh, well, don't reveal too much of what you're doing because people may steal it, or blah 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 blah, or the energy may get out." I'm like, I don't care. It was meant to be. It's meant to be. But I have a tendency to get excited. I get really enthusiastic. It's like when a kid gets excited about something and they show their parents. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, look at this cool thing I'm working on. You know what I mean? So it's like. And plus, also, I don't necessarily want to do the thing alone. I want other people to join me on this journey. I think that's my whole thing. Is that I've always been creating things by myself. It'd be cool if someone could join me on this journey. You know what I mean? I don't have to do it all by myself. So, anyways, y'all take care. Stay blessed. Have a wonderful evening. I will see y'all on the next video. Peace.